Hey guys, it's Jebu. So quite late here, but I wanted to do a video to put up so help people to kill the new Vega Orion Hostiles, which have just recently been put out with the new arc. So people are having trouble with them. The way that I've been tackling them earlier on today was to put Pike, Moreau, E-Data, and then fully buff up, and then I could kill like 7 or 8 of them. But fully buffing all the time like that's probably not sustainable, and also a lot of people can't kill them in the first round. So people have been using that crew that I've been saying I just don't have the round one power to kill them. So looking at a different way of doing it. So what other people then have been doing is doing the Leslie Cheese crew, which is kind of doing like Leslie with synergy, and then just kind of going 100 rounds, blowing up but killing it with burn, which works fine. But you blow up and you got to keep going back and forth multiple times. So been talking to people on the talking track, and we think we've come up with a better way to do these, and it's worth sharing. So let's get into it, and let's talk about the way we can do it. You can see I'm Ops 69, which means I'm wanted to go to Portor to be able to do this. And the first thing you'll have noticed is sent my disco off to Portor. It's important that you do that first before you get too far into this process. Explain to you why in a bit, but it's really important that you send that there first, and don't do that towards the end, because you might leave yourself stranded and unable to get your disco out there. So send it out to the ops relevant zone that you need to be in. Okay, so let's have a look at the hostiles themselves. So if you look at the hostiles themselves, you can see here they decrease attackers' critical damage on round start. Not great, but not so much an issue. The big one though, it decreases the attacker's shield mitigation for 5 rounds and shreds its apex barrier after receiving a critical hit. So what we found on testing is that, assume you do 1 or 2 rounds worth of critical hits, then the hostile does all its damage through to your hull. So it makes it really strong. It's kind of like the hostile's got a slipstream on and is attacking you. So, like I mentioned, the way people have been kind of avoiding that is just Leslie cheese them, but as you all know, you blow up on Leslie cheese, and it's quite a long way back to keep coming back into these zones and doing it. Okay, so how do we get around it? So the crew that I want people to use, officers, you'll see is Anorax, and we've got Anorax in because he's got this stacking apex barrier, and my Anorax is not max, it's 15, but the higher the better. And you can see because these hostiles it's 6 times in a round, that's going to stack quite a lot over the 2 rounds. We've also got in there Seska. You may be thinking, well Joe, you just told me that it bypasses shields, so what's the point in putting Seska on? And I had the same view a few hours ago, but for what we're going to do, we do actually want to keep shields up. So you can see here that she's restoring 25% of health every round. So she's not quite max. I'm working on it for G7 to be max. And then we've got Suda, who repairs 24% of your hull, and then along with PQ below deck, again it's not max for me, but it's doing another 20%, and then along with other sources of hull regen, you can get yourself up to the limit of 90%, 95%. So what do we want to do? So you can see here I've taken off my critical chance officer, so I don't have EU here, but I have got Carol Marcus, because she's going to shove some of the hull damage across onto the shields, which will stay up. I've got Neelix, which is important because I want to burn. That's 100% burning chance. And then I've got my others for hull breach, morale. Hull breach will and morale will give you all like the extra artifacts and the Nova Squadron, and then of course they do quite high ISO damage, so we've got Joachim in for the 500%. So that's the crew. But before we go out there and start killing them, we need to do a little trick. What we've got to do is sting ourselves. And the way that we do that is that we need a zone where we can send our ship onto a mining node, and I'm doing this in territory. We're taking it up here, and what we're going to do is with the mantis in the zone, we're going to target somebody else who's mining. You can see I'm able to sting them. But what I want them to be able to do is see the mine that I'm going to be going on to, so I can click it. When I do that, once my ship's on, you'll see I'll be able to sting myself. If I did it the other way around, and let's say they were there, you see I can't click that mine over there that they're on. So you got to make it so, you know, you click the one, that little symbol to sting's there, and then when I click across, it's still there. You can get somebody else to sting you, but this is just a way that you can speed this up yourself and sting yourself. So why are we going to sting ourselves? Well, let's go in and have a look. Because we're going to have minus 70% critical chance. Because what we're trying to do is get to 0% critical chance. So we're hoping the sting is going to take it down. You'll notice I've not taken off my slipstream because it's very expensive to move them on and off. So the good news is that this will work, and you can keep your slipstream on. So what we'll do is we'll do the trick. We will sting ourselves, confirm. Okay, so there's one more thing we also need to do. There's other sources of crit chance. They predominantly come, there's a lot come from our fleet commanders. So what we need to do is undock all the fleet commanders. Yeah, that's really important. I left Kirk on for one, and I had like a 4% crit chance, and that still makes a big difference on how much damage you take when you're doing this. So important that you take off your fleet commanders. And now, even though we're stung, we can actually, you know, because I won't be able to walk to that zone. So if I went here, look, I can't walk because I'm stung, but I can obviously disco myself in. So we're going to disco ourselves in. Now we should be, with a bit of luck, getting 0 crits. We're going to go 100 rounds. We're going to keep his shields up. We're going to regen his hull. The apex barrier will take off anything else that gets through, and Neelix in the background will kill it in 100 rounds. So even though the hostile, you'll see here, it's kind of got this, gained a massive apex barrier, you know, from Suda, we don't care, because burn in 100 rounds will kill it anyway. So that's theory. So then now we attack one. Yeah, so it's dead. And you can see there, it's done how much damage. That much damage. So I actually think for me, we'll try this again before I do it. I'm going to try to put Pike there. I think Pike might be better because I don't think I'm getting up to 95%. I might even try it with Janeway there as well. We'll do them 3 tests and then we'll call it a day. But we'll just rule out these now while we're here. So I'll go back. But you can see, look, that's considerably better than I bet, you know, you normally would do. If I tried to attack these without a sting, then I'd just be almost dead straight away. So let's see how many we get with Anorax as in the captain's chair. It looks like I'm going to get 3. Which probably means I'm going to have to do 3 runs. No, 4. So I got 4. Yep, 4. Let's kill that. No, don't kill it. Okay, so it's destroyed. So we'll repair. So let's now try it again. Let's try Pike in the middle. Pike. There. So we're swapping the apex barrier this time to power up with an extra 40% Suda. I mean, that should definitely get us above 95% with PQ. So let's try that. So we'll do the same technique. Stick that on there. Obviously we've got us. So the reason why, while I was heading towards it, I told you to send your disco first is because, and I fell into this trap, even with all my warp crew and warp tech on at Op 69 and I maxed all the warp range out, I can't get to Op 69, that's 69 zone, without FC Kirk's 30% warp increase. So it's important you send it first, otherwise you've got to put the FC Kirk back on again and you can't take him off for 30 minutes. So always do that first. So we'll sting. Okay, now we'll bring him in. Okay. It's a bit laggy. Now let's try how well Pike works. Attack. Oh, come on. Look at that. Can you see how it bugs out? Just to go out and in. Try again. Attack. So it's killed it. It's about the same, isn't it? It's about the same. So how many do we get? 1. 2. It's not as good. The Pike doesn't look as good. 2. 3. So we're getting 3 with Pike. So you can see that we're going 100 rounds. So in them 100 rounds, and I'll check to make sure I've got 0% crits in a minute. We'll put it into a log. So final test we'll do is we will go with manage Janeway. With a view to shifting more of the damage over to the shields, which are going to stay up. So, and we're obviously same as what Carol's doing basically. But my Carol's only level 10, so could be why it's not as effective as some other people's when we're doing it, but it's still without a buff doing decent. So let's go with Janeway and we'll try that. Same tactic. Go in onto there. So Janeway tends to be a lot better for me in terms of the other VGERs anyway. So that wasn't my fault, my go-to to shift it odds, but obviously we're losing out on the apex barrier of Anorax. So it's kind of a bit of a toss-up, but clearly the apex barrier of Anorax is better than Pike because we got 1, 2, 3 kills with Pike as captain on 1, 2, 3, 4 kills with Anorax as captain. So do the trick. Stone. Summon herself. There you go. Okay, locate here. And now let's try. So it's killed it, and how much damage? Not that much difference. So I think Anorax is your best bet. But I have seen, I think this is because I've got a, oh yeah, look, I've probably got 2 with Janeway. Yeah, just 2 with Janeway. So what we'll do is, we'll just do a little test. Go to Spock's Club. We will take the first of the Anorax ones because that was the best ones that we got. So just go to that one. See, temp, save. So we'll save that log. Go here, battle logs. We will go see STFC logs. Let's drag that in, have a look. Damage done. There, look, it's 0%. So it is working. It's just that the, you know, them 69 and 70s are pretty strong. So even without doing that and having the apex barrier, we're still, well, just as a comparator, just so you can see the difference. Pair, that's right. So if we were going to do something, if we were going to do it, try and do it normally, let's say we said, okay, can't use Suda, can't use Janeway because they're banned. So you'd go, I don't know, maybe Pike. Yeah, we don't, let's say we don't go through, we are going to go with crits. In fact, let me do this. Say we're going to have like a normal setup, we're going to try and do crits. And let's say we're going to put in Pike. Anorax is fine. I mean, we could power up Anorax completely. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll power Anorax up completely, like Pike, Moreau. No, maybe E-Data. Let's do below that. Let's do E-Data because obviously we'll do get the extra cascade damage. Where's E-Data? T-Data. Let's see, did Pike. And then now I'm not going to use Chang on this because the firing pattern of the coast carrier don't work. So I know you could maybe put Chang there, particularly if you are G7 where Pike doesn't work. And let's say in here, well, we don't need PICU because it's not going to go many rounds. So we'll put in Chapel. I mean, that's what I'd do, but just for this test, I'll put in PICU again because that's what most people would keep in, won't they? They say, oh, well, we'll get some health back. So I'll just leave him in. This is like your classic lineup. So let's say you just did that and we went and looked. Just doing, because I can't bother to wait. And then we attacked. Well, yeah, you could have put Anorax in the middle of that as well, but you'll see, well, don't even kill it. So that don't work. And then the other thing people were doing was the Leslie cheese, which was group, Leslie, Moreau, and Siska. So we're going to get, that'll be Anorax. Where's my Anorax? See, I don't normally do the cheese, I don't even know if that's right. Did I? Maybe look at my cruise. Let me just saying, try that. Suda, okay. Just putting Suda in and you don't care. Okay, makes sense. So let's put Suda in. So below deck. Suda, yeah, because we're keeping the shields up. So there's a combination of Leslie, Suda, and PQ should keep the shields up. Because Leslie and these two work differently. You get above 100%, you kill it through Neelix, but you blow up. So you could try that, but you'll see. Let's try. Let's see if it works. I've not tried this because I've not had to cheese. Should go 100 rounds. Should blow up. But we should be victory. Oh, well, I ain't got no thing on, so. Oh, it worked though, look. Yeah. So you'll see. No. It went 100 rounds. On 98. Just because I've got no fleet commanders on. But anyway, it worked. I cheesed it and I killed one. But then I blew up, even though I survived. So that's a way you could just keep cheesing it over and over and over again if you wanted to. But the Mantis thing allows you to do. I mean, I've seen some people get up to like 10, 12 out of that sting option, but clearly for me, it don't work out. So, I mean, for me, I'll probably, if I do Lorca's Fist on these with Pike, Moreau, and E-Data, I can actually get about 10 out, so I'll probably stick to doing that. So that's another way of doing these again, but you've got to be able to kill them in the first round. So that's me done for tonight. There's a few options for you to try. So we can either sting yourself, summon yourself into the zone, sting yourself and summon yourself into the zone that you want with no fleet commanders, using one of the crews that I've showed you. That should be able to get you up to 100 round, kill them with burning, and not blow up. Use the cheese crew with Leslie, which I've just showed, or go Pike, Moreau, E-Data, and then use Lorca's Fist, kill them in the first round before they move on to the second round. When you're doing that, hopefully it'll help you at least kill one, maybe kill 2, 3, maybe kill 4, 5, maybe kill 6, 7, or maybe kill all 10 in one go. But it should hopefully help unlock it for some of you to be able to complete the dailies. Hope that helps. Have a good night. Jibbo out.